This video will cover how to port Call of Duty maps into Pavlov VR. Prerequisites are going to be the mod kit, COD to UE, Greyhound, and C2M. With Greyhound, you're going to want to open up the settings and copy what I have. First thing you're going to want to do is open up Greyhound and C2M. Then go ahead and launch Call of Duty. For this example, I'm going to be using COD 4 and porting Shipment.
Let's do this.
Alright, now we're in the game. Going to want to keep this open. Then in C2M, hit the paper airplane. That'll give you a generated files notification. Then go ahead and open up Greyhound, and you want to navigate to the folder that C2M created. In this case, it will be Shipment, and once you're here, open up X model list, Control A, Control C to copy everything. Go over to Greyhound, hit Load Game, and in the search bar, we're going to paste. Then export all. Close out of your notepad, and now we go to search string. Same thing, all copy. Now we're going to clear out of this and navigate to your Call of Duty folder. You're looking for IWD files, IPACs, or XPACs. This is COD 4, so this is what it should look like. And now you go through each of these and paste in the search, export, and repeat this process all the way down the list for all IWD files. What this is going to do is get the textures that you need. All of those have been exported. We can go ahead and close out of all of this. Now we can go ahead and navigate to a folder that you're going to make the map in. Drop in the Pavlov mod kit, and in the plugins folder, drop in COD to UE. Alright, so I'm going to make a project, create a blank map, call it Shipment, create a COD folder, fix up my definition. Under project settings, I'm going to set the default map to Shipment so it loads when I first open it. Just to be safe, close Unreal and then reopen it. A lot of times it can be finicky, and a restart will help with stability after you make some basic changes. You should see COD to UE at the top. Under Map OBJ, you're going to want to navigate to wherever you have the exported maps. Select the Shipment OBJ. Greyhound, you select the Greyhound folder. Right click on your COD folder, hit Show and Explore, copy the custom maps and after bit of the navigation bar, paste that into your import folder, and replace the slashes with backslashes. Import geometry, import, place, hit import. Alright, time has passed and you should get a little done pop up. Then in your level, go ahead and hit place. Change your view to unlit, and you should have your map This is all the geometry, but if you'll notice, the materials are broken, so we're going to have to go in and fix the master material. How we're going to do that is by moving the base color over and searching for white. There's some white, and we need a flat normal. There's a flat normal. We're going to do a little bit of Pavlov optimization while we're in here and add a multiply for the opacity mask and make the roughness a constant 1. This should help with shader complexity. Go ahead and save that. And now we have materials. The scale is quite off for this. If we grab a mannequin, you can see it is quite tiny. So to fix that, we're going to drop a cube under the map, put everything under the cube, and then select the cube, and let's try 2.54 as the scale factor. I happen to know this is correct for COD 4. If it doesn't look quite right for what you're doing, just drop the mannequin in and find something that you kind of know the height of and scale based on that. At this point, you have the map imported into Unreal, and you can take over from here if you know about map making in general. I'm going to continue just doing some basic optimizations and get this map to the minimum viable playable map. So first thing I'm going to want to do is pop over to the example map and snag the sky blueprint, paste that in so we have a sky. We're going to want to create some lighting. Currently we are in unlit. Drag in directional light, spotlight. We need a reflection capture. Scale that up a bit. Now this is by no means proper technique. This is just getting it to a playable state pretty quickly. Under cube, right click and select all static meshes. Control click to deselect cube and then drag it up. That'll unparent this stuff that we can delete. Now we have everything under one cube. We can select all of this, and we're going to want to do some basic editing. First thing is change the fizz mat. Dirt is a pretty neutral Pavlov fizz mat. Pretty much anything can be dirt. And change it to volumetric lighting. That'll make everything so you can't just shoot through all the walls. By default, you can shoot through any mesh. Then under COD, we're going to select all of the static meshes and bulk edit via property matrix, search complex, and we're going to change the complex collision so everything should have proper collision. Now if you notice all these grass triangles, that's no good. And also the shader complexity for the grass isn't particularly good. So I'm just going to delete all the grass. Now if you look in shader complexity, everything is green. If you look into player collision, everything looks good. The bomb sites here are stacked on top of each other, so you're going to want to delete the blown up bomb sites. If you wanted to, Now is a good time to drag in your own grass and your own trees instead of these not so good trees. You can find some stuff on the marketplace for that. Save all of this. And under world settings, I'm going to add an environmental light just so the shadows don't look so bad. And we'll go ahead and build lighting and see how it looks. I would prefer no shadows versus shitty shadows. So, like I said, this is not the proper way to do lighting. This is just the quick and dirty way. All right. Lighting looks playable. If you'll notice, some things do not have proper materials. If something's supposed to have like a see-through opacity, open the material and hit the check mark, and that'll fix it most of the time. And that looks about good. All right, now our map is successfully imported into Unreal. Now we just have to add the stuff for Pavlov. So go ahead and search Pavlov. For our bomb spots, you can drag those in. And let's do push while we're at it as well. And then for push, we're going to just have one objective set since this is a very small map. Whenever you place the bomb, you're going to want to make sure that players can actually type in the numbers. So even though it's kind of floating here, I'm going to bring it up to kind of eye level. Next, we're going to need our game logic. Let's move this down to the bottom of the world outliner. We got our bomb into the Pavlov area, game logic into the Pavlov area, push, link up our definition, and it's always good to add a kill volume underneath your map. Players always figure out a way to break the map. So, when in doubt, just do that. That way, if somebody glitches underneath the map, they'll die. We should also add push loadout proxies and push settings. We'll get to that later. Spawns. We'll start with deathmatch spawns. Now, if you are doing this properly, you would go in with more thought and rotate these and make sure nobody's like floating above the ground or something like that. Make sure that they're pointing where you want them to point. Oh, that's a vehicle. That's not what I want. No vehicles on shipment. And in general, you want like at least 10 spawns minimum. Good practice is probably like 20. On a map this small, that's kind of hard to do. Then shift click all of these into deathmatch and we'll change that to -1. Next, we want the S&D and push spawns. So we'll have this be CT You know, I don't remember if this is T or CT on this. 1 second. One Google search later, this is the CT side. So we're going to have the CTs for both S&D and push on this side. Drag the push spawn into push, S&D into that. On the T side, gotta remember that Pavlov S&D spawn like 5 people to the right of them. So you're going to have to push it more to the left than you think. And push spawn. Drag it up and you can hit N to drop it down. We're just doing one objective. Alright, also we're going to need a nav mesh. And a light mass importance volume. What else? We're going to need bounds volume so that we don't get too many team kills. In fact, on push, I'm going to, or not team kills, spawn kills. I'm going to push that guy back. Pavlov out of bounds volume. Do something like this. And push objective set 0. And move this. All right, now we have everything except for push settings set up. I'm going to have this be a modern map. And push loadout. I'm just going to copy and paste this from another map that supports push. So here's ambush, and I already have the loadouts how I want them. So I'm just going to copy this and paste, and that'll get all the loadouts how I want. And for CT, I'm going to do the same. And that is about it. This should support pretty much every game mode. One more thing I'm going to do is make sure that the bounds are set up and just add some big old blocking volumes around the map so players cannot sneak out. So if we check our collision, everything seems in order. Check our shader complexity, everything's in order. Now, like I said, the lighting is pretty bad. Next steps would be to fix the lighting density, do proper lighting, and do proper fizz mats, and probably get proper Unreal foliage and put it all over the ground. And there are a million things you could do to improve a map. This is just getting to bare minimum playable. So we're going to save that. Another thing that I'm going to need to do is create a thumbnail. All right, there is a thumbnail. Set that up. Save all, and that should do it. Go ahead and add the images and upload your initial map. Alright, once uploaded, go ahead and navigate to your workshop page. Subscribe and set it to public. And now you can play.